when you get so much setup, you're get bored with diminishing returns for payoff. And that's sort of how this show feels. It just feels like, okay, don't wait, no wait, we're gonna give you something really cool. Just wait, here it is. Oh, here's the cool thing. Okay, now you gotta wait a little longer. And that's sort of just been the entire feeling I've been getting throughout this thing. I know we've been real giddy and uppity about the show, but I have my concerns with it. And yeah, that last episode, when I remember when I saw the link, I yelled out loud, 48 minutes, because I knew it wasn't going to be 48. It was going to be more like 38 minutes. And that's just, that is just lazy storytelling. When you couldn't do much, if you're trying to build up Thrawn to be the biggest bad guy in the galaxy, and then he's this master strategist, his only strategy was to slow down Ahsoka a little bit so he could take off in his ship before finishing delivering his cargo. That's all you have.
Whatever his cargo is.
Yeah, they look like
that's bodies. It's bodies.
Why tease us with throwing episode 5 in the theaters, making us think that there's some grand finale that's going to be like, oh man, maybe they're going to throw that in the theaters, and there is no way I would spend money to watch episode 8.
Yeah. Actually, you know what, John, you just brought up a very good point, and this is one of my problems with all of this Star Wars stuff is I feel it's a tease. It's really doesn't, it's not interested in a conclusion. It's not interested in basic storytelling. I'm going to just quickly say, and then I promise I'll be quiet, but it's funny. In The Godfather Part 2, after they had established really the arc of Michael from kind of this innocent and the events that happened to him, and by the end of Godfather, he's this ruthless Don. But in The Godfather, he has scenes where he explains himself to Kay. He has that great scene where he talks to his dad and, is already sort of taking over. And it's a 10-minute scene between him and Brando where you realize that the Michael character now gets it. Again, he's talking about actions and doing things, and we see all this, but he's also telling in sort of a testimony way of why he is now who he is. And he's explaining that to the people who care about him. He does the same thing, even from the business standpoint, throughout Godfather 2. And I just think that's such a fascinating character arc from him at the beginning of Godfather to the end. Like when he talks to the senator about, like, we're both corrupt and, don't sit here and sneer down at me like, the mafia is different in the shenanigans it does versus the Senate and stuff like that. And I'm just thinking here, you've got this character that we've all talked about, and she's beloved through everything, and she was a big deal, and Rosario Dawson's a very capable actress, in Mandalorian. And does she have 3 lines ever that she says in a row? Yeah. I get that. She never explains herself. If you came back from a near-death experience and somebody said, how are you feeling? Oh, suddenly you're all now in white. What is that about? Well, you see, I saw this white light when I was under the ocean. You at least explain your wardrobe, but she doesn't say anything. And I just don't know where these people are in the writer's room going, that's Star Wars. That's the way to tell a story. It's like, yeah, give me a good lightsaber battle, but tell me who these characters are and why they've changed. That's her arc. Her name is on the show's title. She has to do that, and that is storytelling 101. I don't care if you're in 7th grade or you're in the master class of the UCLA film program. You need to tell audiences that. Otherwise, you're teasing us and, frankly, fucking us over, because this is not the way to end a series. If we have to wait 2 more years for it, I just think that's disrespectful. And they probably think, oh, we're being so clever. They're just going to be waiting with bated breath. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I want a story that has an ending once in a while, or at least a concluding chapter that feels like an ending, so I can go, well, there's another adventure to be had, just like in a comic book, but this was a satisfying issue.